How's it going, everyone? Vortex here, and today I'll be showing you my build that I use in the Division for 1.4. So what I'm using is a Predator's build with 2 strikers. So what it does is it gives me plus 10% reload speed, assault rifle damage, SMG damage, and if you hit 10 shots without switching to a target, um, you can make the target bleed for 50% of the damage already done by those bullets. So that's good, and then I'll explain why the strikers is good. So like I said, you get that plus 8% assault rifle damage. So right now we're using an assault rifle. Assault rifle is recommended for this build. You can use a police M4 or a lightweight M4, even a Elvo with C. I had this in the vendor the other day. I bought it. It's got deadly brutal, and I rolled predatory on it. And then this M4 once again I got it from the Dark Zone like a couple of days ago, and it's got brutal, deadly, and I rolled predatory on it. Now explain why predatory is important. So yeah, it's got 23% armor damage, 16.1k damage. It's got 899 rounds per minute, and 64 bullets in the clip. So what I'm using for my sight is a CQBSS 8x scope, which gives me stability, accuracy, and headshot damage. For my muzzle, I'm using a loud vent brake, which gives me crit hit damage, headshot damage, and accuracy. For my angle grip, I'm using, or for my underbarrel, I'm using angle grip, which gives me stability, optimal range, and accuracy. I personally recommend something with stability, accuracy, and like crit hit damage instead of optimal range, if that's even possible. But I haven't found anything like that yet. And then for my magazine, I'm using extended mag with 115% magazine size, 4.5% reload speed, and 5.8% rate of fire. So for my secondary, it doesn't matter what you use. I just use this Tenebrae, 45.4k damage and 143% headshot damage. The headshot damage is pretty low, but I mean, it's still pretty good. It's got prepared, brutal, and toxic on it. So prepared damage is increased by 15% when more than 30 meters from the target. That's good because you're usually far away from your target when you're using snipers or marksman rifles. And then brutal, once you get headshot damage is increased by 12%, and the toxic headshots with this weapon have a 50% chance to apply blind status effect, which is really good against AI. And I also have this M60 with 15.6k damage with vicious, deadly, and fierce. You can even use something like an SMG, like this one, deadly, vicious, responsive, or like brutal instead of responsive. So it all depends. But yeah, I recommend police M4 or lightweight M4 or Elvo SC just because they all have a high rate of fire, and you want to do as much damage as possible as fast as possible. For this build, so you can't really use like a Scar L or MK, any slow firing assault rifles for this build. And then for your pistol, doesn't really matter. I just use an M45A1, 21k damage, and it's got predatory on it. For my chest piece, I got stamina, health on kill, so when you kill someone, you get your health back 4%, and then you have armor and ammo capacity on this. And I also have firearms from these mods which has armor on it, so it boosts up my toughness as well. And then for strikers, what you want is stability, and I'll explain why that's important later. So for my striker's mask, I have firearms on it and health and increased kill XP, and I also have a stamina mod on it which gives me skill power. For my knee pads, I have armor and stamina on it with another stamina mod. And then I have a pulse critical hit chance performance mod with disorient resistance, blade resistance, disrupt resistance. I'm trying to get better knee pads, something with burn or shock resistance instead of disorient resistance, because I personally think having those are better. But yeah, those are my knee pads. They're pretty good. And then for my backpack, I have electronics on it just to make sure my skills are keeping up with my, or just make sure my electronics keeping up my stamina and firearms, and my skills aren't completely useless. And I have armor on it, and ammo capacity with a stamina mod, which has skill haste on it, and then 2 performance mods with pulse critical hit damage and pulse duration. For my gloves, these are like the best gloves you could possibly get other than having one that has better armor and firearms. But yeah, this has firearms, and it's got crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and assault rifle damage, so this is really good for this build. or in my case, since I'm using an assault rifle. And then for my holster, it's got pretty low firearms, but it has armor, stamina, and electronics, the usual. And I have a first aid self-heal performance mod. And for the performance mods, you can put whatever you want. It's basically just personal preference. I just try to balance it out with the pulse critical hit chance and or pulse critical hit damage and the pulse duration. And I also have a first aid self heal. So yeah, stability is important, is because it gives you, so strikers gives 20% stability, and that's good because as you can see for my M4, my stability and accuracy are like at the same level, and then my Tenebrae is just like it's just like below that. But if I take out my strikers, you can see my police M4, the stability drops down. Look at that, it was beside the accuracy line. And then for my Tenebrae, it's so bad, like I can even show you. So for the M4 it's not that bad. I mean, it kicks up and it's kind of like everywhere, it's kind of hard to control. And then for your sniper, or for my sniper, it like kind of goes up a lot. So yeah, with this strikers, it boosts up your stability. So my M4, it's almost like a laser beam. Look how easy that is to control. Like, yeah, it's gonna move around, but for the most part it's not. And I'm pretty sure with LVOC, this thing is like a laser beam. Yeah, look at that, it just goes up and it's super easy to control. So that's why I recommend Police M4 LVOC, just because they have like the best accuracy and stability. I'm pretty sure the lightweight M4 is kind of more worse than the Police M4, so yeah. And also for my sniper, I'll show you guys how good this is. Like, yeah, it's still gonna go up, but it doesn't go up as much and as fast. And so why predatory is good is because when you kill a target, it regenerates 35% health over 20 seconds. So this is good for if you're in a fight and you're low health, just kill like an AI and you regenerate your health. Or if you kill a player, you regenerate your health. And this is also a good counter for people using this build, because if you have the bleed status effect on you, the predatory heals more health than the damage done by the bleeding. So you're technically, all you're getting from bleeding, if you're bleeding with predatory on, is you just slower and your screen gets all messed up. But other than that, it's a good counter. Plus on top of that, with the bleed resistance that I have on my knee pads, it's really good. So yeah, and I'll show you guys what I mean. Or actually, I can't really show you because I can't kill these people, but anyways, for my abilities, I'm using Pulse and First Aid. Now, the reason I'm using Scrambler over Tactical Scanner is because if you look at both of them, the crit hit chance stays at 15%. And the only thing that changes is the crit hit damage. So at the end of the day, you want to ask yourself, would I rather get that 5% crit hit damage, or would I just protect myself from anyone else using Pulse? Personally, I'd rather protect myself and my group. Just because that 5% crit hit damage is not really going to do that much in the long run. And then for my first aid, it's pretty good. Heals me for 100,000. So if I'm at 40,000 health, it's going to heal me back to full. So yeah, that's pretty good. And then I use recovery link for my signature skill. It's really good for solo. So yeah, I'll show you guys some gameplay of how this build works. And I just want to see if I covered everything. Yeah, let me just test out. I can't really guys show you guys a predatory, but I can show you guys. Alright, so yeah, see, look, the bleeding doesn't really last that long. Let me see if I can do the predatory. Yeah, did you see that? So look, I just see the bottom of my health, it's just going up even with the bleeding, just because this predatory is good. Now if I hit me with a grenade again, and look at this. Alright, I gotta hit those, don't I? Yeah, I gotta hit those. So I'll show you guys. So my health is like there, and it's just going up. See how fast that goes up? And if you're at like half a segment with one full predatory for the 20 seconds, it'll bring you to full health. So that's good. And see inside your gun you have those hits, tell you when you hit a target, so that would give them bleeding. Same thing like a marksman rifle. Just gonna hit him 10 times, and then it would give him bleeding. So yeah guys, that's my build. So now I'll just show you guys some gameplay, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Oh, and I forgot to go over my talents. So what I'm using for my talents is on the move, kill a hostile while moving to reduce incoming damage by 30% for 10 seconds. One is none, which is, in my opinion, the best talent in the game. Headshot a hostile, have 50% chance of not consuming the bullet. Critical save, use a medkit during low health to increase damage resistance by 40% for 10 seconds. And since we're using predators, you have shrapnel, which I'm using. And when you apply bleed to any target, it triggers a 30% chance to apply an effect to all targets within 10 meters. So another reason why this build's strong is because when you hit people for 10 hits and you get that bleeding to them, you also have that 30% chance of applying it to everyone around them in a 10-meter radius. So yeah, this build's just really strong. So yeah, I'll see you guys later.
Make the ground shake.